How we all doing? If you're anything like me, you're waiting for the cod to come in. And it's a long wait. But, I don't know about you guys, but I can't afford to chase up and down the Wales and the Bristol Channel and back like the fish hunter. So I'm relying on local fishermen. Or should I say local commercial fishermen, to let me know what's about. In the past, in our area, as soon as the fish show in Selsey to any given stock, then I know they're going to be at Church Rocks, Chichester Bar, Chichester Harbour. So that's basically what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the netters, the trammel netters and the mono netters to get any sort of quantity of codling. And then I'll know they're on the move. Hello Matt, how are you fella? So at the moment, we're the boat's all done now, which is good. New deck, new thwarts, new ribs, new everything. Because when I bought her, she was basically just a shell. Hello Ray, hi buddy. Yeah, she was just a shell, so I couldn't really afford to buy one that was already done. That's the long and the short of it. So I bought a shell on a trailer. And the trailer had no suspension, which was a genuine snipe trailer with no suspension. It was a road trailer, so that I've never seen one of them before, but there you go. So that's all done. New in-suspension units, new tow hitch. I'll show you her in a minute. Renamed Suzanne because Sue's the only one that ever catches any fish. I don't catch nothing. But yeah, I'm waiting from a shout from the boys that are commercially fishing them close in, not deep, to let me know when the codling show in any sort of numbers at Selsey and coming down from the east. So then I'll know, as I said before, that they'll be on the marks that we normally fish for them. And we can fish less than a mile offshore. So in some cases, you can when they're in, you can get them at Swear Deep, which is actually inside the mouth between Hayling East and Chichester Bar. But there's not really anything else much out there. If you want to catch strap congers and dogfish, then maybe whiting. But personally, the price of fuel now and the price of the marina, it just doesn't. Oh yeah, Ben. It just doesn't stack up for me. I can't afford it. So I can only go when it's worthwhile me going. Bass, there's still bass around. In the harbours, it's pointless going outside the harbours for bass. They're all in the harbour. They're not stupid. They know where the food is. I mean, I've been out Nab East, Nab West. Nothing. So it's pointless burning fuel just to go out there and bob around, freeze your nuts off and catch nothing. So I've just been making rigs and doing the boat. Sue got me a new Garmin Striker 4 fish finder for Christmas, which is, I've already got it and fitted it day before yesterday, so I got fed up with the Garmin fish finder I had, which was black and white, 300 years old, and all you saw was little Pac-Man fish going across the screen, and that was a big lump of weed, a small lump of weed, a carrier bag, whatever went by it thought it was fish, so it'd chirp like a lunatic. Got plenty of wrecks out the bill. There's, to be fair, I thought the other day we had a nice day, nice evening, should I say, and Will was out in his sib, and that night I thought I'll go out to the Rowan because it was calm, and see if there's anything out there. Yeah, yes, Ray, that gutted me. I'll be honest, you know. I think I've cried 3 times in my life, and to have her put down, that killed me. You know, 14 years we had her. The problem I had with it is she was still wagging her tail and walking around, and to me, when you have to have a pet put to sleep, it's when they can't get up and they're messing themselves and all that. But as the vet explained to me, she was riddled with cancer, bless her heart, and she had a cancerous lump on her windpipe, so she's only a little Jack Russell, and when she was coughing constantly. Now with a human, they can tell you, you know what I mean, like, oh, I've had enough, I want to fall off the twig. But I don't know, every night she'd be with me, you know what I mean. Sue would go to bed. If I was in the workshop out here, she'd be with me. And I don't know. They're telling me that the cancer had got her and she had no quality of life. And I don't know, it just kicked me in the nuts, I suppose. I don't know. Perhaps it's because I'm getting old. But 14 years, and she was with a dog. You get like unconditional love. You know, you come in, they wag their tail, they're always happy to see you. And look, everybody else. Hi, Mohammed. Nice to see you, fella. And I don't know, it done me. We're waiting for her ashes to turn up, actually. But yeah, that was, oh well. Got over, you know, that. And then 3 days later, one of my best friends from London died of COVID. So we had a really good week that week. Yeah, that was a cracker. Anyway, back to fishing. I made some baits up yesterday. Lug and squid wraps. Made a complete mess everywhere. Used my new vacuum sealer, and the vacuum sealer sucked all the juices out of the bag and made a mess of that. So I've done something wrong there as well. But me and a new technology don't seem to mix. But yeah, it's a waiting game at the moment. I can give you more marks if you need them, Bill. I don't really, Ben, to be honest, mate, I don't know if they're just not here. It's like they were catching mackerel 3 months after they should have come in, and when they shouldn't even still be here. So everything's gone Pete Tong at the moment. I'd like to catch. What would I like to do? I'd like to go out. I'd like to catch codlin, and I'd like to catch some plaice or sole, because I fish for the freezer. I mean, what I catch, obviously legally in size, I eat. That's basically why I gave up freshwater fishing, because I thought I'll go to a lake, I know exactly what's in the lake, be it perch, bream, tench, carp, so I know I can only catch 1 or 4 fish or whatever, and when I catch it, I've got to put it back. So I thought, well, It's cost me a fortune in licences. And, oh, it's peaceful, and I enjoyed it. It's nice to sit down on a riverbank and chill for the day. But it wasn't for me. I like to eat what I catch. Yeah, I've heard there's plenty of salt in Southampton. To be honest, Ben, the only time I've ever fished Southampton, well, not even Southampton water, up towards the incinerator, they just knocked the chimney over, was trawling. So I've never actually rod and line fished Southampton water. I know where they're catching them, out by the triangle. So I know exactly where they are, but it's a long old run for me, Ben. Especially coming out of Northerny, I've got to go up the whole length of Haylen Island, all the way along Haylen Seafront, all the way along Southsea Seafront, past Gilkicker and up there. I mean, that cost me about £100 in fuel, which I can't afford. And to launch it up there, I don't know the water. So, as I say, I've never fished them waters. And when I'm fishing at night, all right, I've got obviously Navionics. I've got my fish finder. I've got my depth sounder, and all of the above. But I like to know where I'm going. I like to know where the channels are. I like to know where I'm likely to run into some sort of aggravation. I like to know where I've got to go to get out of that situation, and I don't in Southampton water. Anywhere from the mouth of Portsmouth Harbour down to Selsey and out the Nab, out Bembridge Ledge. I've fished all those marks on all that area. I know exactly if anything goes peak tongue, I know where to go. I know how the sea's going to react. I know where the shipping is, pretty much where every buoy is, and I can get out of trouble if I've got to run into a bay or I've got to run her up the beach. I'm pretty much covered, and I know it's a comfort zone, but it's took me 50 years to know all of these anomalies that could happen to me. I mean, we've run aground 4.5 miles offshore, and I woke up in the morning, the boat was on it, well, not on its side, but it was keeled over, and Mermaid Ginger Martin, I looked out the cabin wheelhouse, and Ginger's walking on water. He looked like Jesus. I thought, we're 3 miles offshore, no land anywhere, and he's walking along with a boat hook. Apparently he was chasing a turbot, trying to stab it. But as God's my witness, he looked like Jesus Christ looked like he was walking. He was only in about 6 inches of water. So I know the areas. Public slipway on Leon Solent. Yeah, again, see, the problem I've got, right, is I'm not the fittest fella in the world now. When I go to Northerny Marina, I can't launch it on my own to start with, because I've got to back it down into the water, then I've got to unstrap it all, then I've got to walk it onto the pontoon, then I've got to get in the car, take the trailer up, walk all the way back, and it's too much for me on my own. 30 years ago, yeah, not a problem. And putting off a public slipway is, as you know, I mean, you've got waves coming in, being small, calm, whatever. So, shit, that's going to punch the boat everywhere while I'm trying to hold it and get the bow on the beach. Then I've got to anchor it down while I take the trailer up to the car park. Then I've got to walk all the way down and then try in my crippled state to climb on the ruddy boat and get it off the beach. It's just too much work for me. You know what I mean? I'm not fit enough to do that. It's the tidal ray. We'll just put a post on the group. Mate, there will be people that will think. Yeah, I'll say I'm that's my problem. I'm not fit enough. I mean, when I go with Reese, bless him, he's like just four. He sort of walks the boat out. I mean, even when we get the boat, we got the boat out once on the trailer, it wasn't quite square. So he picked the arse end of it up with a 25 outboard bolted to it, weighing about half a ton, picked it up and moved it. I mean, it's like, okay then, you know. And Reece does all the hard work. I mean, I just literally get on the boat and go fishing. After time, I just says to Reece, go on then, son, you go. And I'll just tell him where to go. So, but I can't do it on my own. I mean, I've resigned myself to the fact. Now, I can take it down, put it into Northerny, and I've got a little mooring berth down there, and I can leave her afloat. So all I've got to do is walk down, get on the boat, and go. But that's like 90 quid a week, and I can't afford 90 quid a week for that privilege. So this is you know, where I'm at. I mean, the boat's all done, and I'm sat there thinking, Reece is working all the time, so he can't go. But yeah, so there we are. That's with the state. I'm waiting for the commercial boys to tell me. Basically, I know as soon as they start hitting them between Salisbury and Chichester, I know exactly where they're going to be in my area. And they're not miles out. They're literally, where are we? 200 yards, 300 yards offshore. That's where they're feeding. You're not that far away from me, Ben, are you? You're only in Bishop's Waltham. I mean, I used to live in Droxford, so you ain't that far away, bruv. I mean, everything on the trailer's new tyres, new wheels, new everything. So it ain't a case of not being able to tow it anywhere. It's just the fuel. You know, I mean, my old, well, all the kids and the wife calls it the shitmobile. I've got a Hyundai Santa Fe. But it's a V6. And she likes a bit of petrol. So, I'll price of petrol. Where I don't go eat much, I filled her up about a month ago. She was 3/4 full. I filled her up to the top. Cost me £21. I filled it up day before yesterday. Same 3/4, you know, same mark from 3/4 of the tank to full. Cost me 36 quid. You know, and I'm like, flipping heck. If I'm going to, if I towed at Leon Solent, the engine, the 25 horse twin two-stroke, she likes a bit of fuel as well. So it will cost me probably, with a bit of bait, 20, 30, 40, 50. Probably cost me 65, 70 quid to go fishing. And when did that ever happen? You think about it, and you think, well, you can go out on a charter boat for 80 quid. So it is killing us a bit. I am when I don't drive, Bill. Well, that's not a problem. I can always pick you up. It's getting the timing right, Ben, isn't it? It's like when you're not busy. See, with me, I'm old school, I suppose. I don't plan anything. If I plan something, then if say I said, right, I'm going fishing at 8 o'clock tonight, then all day I'd be clock watching and thinking, well, I've got to do this, got to do that, got to be here, got to be there. I just think, hello, it's a nice night. I've got the bait in the freezer. Jump in the car, go. And you can't do that when you've got other people involved. Like you said, I can't say to you, Ben, we're going fishing and I'm on my way, we're going fishing. It's going to be, turn it in, Bill. You know what I mean? Give me a bit of warning. So yeah, I'm a bit awkward, shall we say, in that. Because if I make plans, somewhere in my brain it gives me reasons not to go. I'll go into the what if, and I don't know. I think we're wired that way. Yeah, I understand, Ben. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'm going into everything, but I mean, basically, back broken at 40, broke me back in 3 places, snapped me left knee. So they done me knee, didn't realise I broke my back for 5 months. So 5 months later, they x-rayed me and said, oops, you've broke your back. So they put me in a body cast. Anyway, long story short, McLaren, who was the head surgeon at Harley Street, sat me down and said, I can operate, but you've got a 70% chance of being paralysed. So I thought the odds ain't good on that. Or you're going to have to live with it, and obviously, like, the pain's going to get worse, Then you get osteoarthritis come along. I thought, that's not nice. Then my neck, which is all coming from the back apparently, so I've had like 6 injections in my neck, or spondylitis in my neck. So because I've got such a big head, and your head's the heaviest part of your body, like you obviously your neck holds your nut up. So now that's on its way out. Sounds like a load of bamboo sticks when I move around. Anyway, so that's it. I'm a bit buggered. My brain is telling me what I want to do. My body's saying you're having a giraffe. So it's like the beach fishing. I can't walk up and down the stones. I just can't. So I'm really limited as to where I can fish. I couldn't fish, Eastney Beach or Southsea. I can only fish the beach where the actual water line is close to the promenade, because I just physically can't do it. Although I've turned me jubbly chariot, like the old sit on disabled scooter thing, I had the suspension, put big fat wheels on it so that I could go like off-road. And me and Sue used to use that when we used to go to Porchester. Because we got a little, that's hence my my label, my Pompey Fisherman label. It's me sat on the jubbly chariot towing the trailer with all the fishing gear in. That's the reason for that. Being my logo. But you can't, it digs itself in on the old stones. But yeah, so all I've been doing is making up rigs and not much else. I like fishing Southampton Town Quay. Yeah, Southampton's better fishing at Southampton. I watch Dobbo. He goes out to the Triangle. That's one of his secret marks, where he catches his soul. And there is better fishing. You know, west of Portsmouth Harbour, the fishing grounds are a lot better. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a trek for me to go. I did look at putting the boat in a not a marina, it's like a boat club type thing, but then it was I had to run all the way out the Amble River to get out. So again, it was like, then I've got to take into consideration the fuel from me to Southampton in the car, then the fuel on the boat from all the way out the Amble River to get out to the Triangle. And it's all money in it at the end of the day. I mean, they catch squid. Is it Millennium Bridge, Ben, that they jig for squid? I don't even know where that is, but as I say, I've never fished Gospel. I've never fished Southampton. I've never fished to the west. I've always fished to the east. But yeah, I can go out. I mean, I could go out tonight and catch bass. But it gets a bit boring when you're just catching bass. And there's only so much bass you can eat, trust me, you know. And then you've got to take into consideration, if you're going out and you're going live, then obviously people want to see you catch fish, rather than just sit there and look at a rod all night. Or I may be wrong, I don't know, perhaps people like sitting there watching a rod all night. But think about getting a drone for the casting off the beach. Yes, right. There is a fella in Australia, and he, I mean, you got to watch it to believe it. It was on YouTube. Basically, he goes fishing with helium balloons. Obviously, the wind's got to be in the right direction. But he literally ties a helium balloon, fills a balloon out of helium, ties it to his line. It blows out to sea, and then he shoots the balloon with an air rifle. I mean, typical Australian lunatic. But he gets out about 200-300 yards before he shoots the balloon. I thought, you know, only in Australia, lunatics. But you can get a bait boat, like they use in fresh water now. And you can just radio control, send a bait boat out and drop your weight. Personally, I think I'd rather sit on a boat. I mean, I can't cast worth toffee, me. I suppose beat 50 yards is my limit, because I can't get the swing anymore. But the idea was get a boat in my retirement, go sit out on the ocean where I'm at my happiest, and enjoy myself. But it's just the wind. I don't mind the rain, don't mind the cold. It's just the wind. Where we got short chop in our waters, it's uncomfortable, you know. I mean, the boat's designed for these waters. But yeah, I'm just come on here because Sue's away. Oh, and her Mercedes broke down as well. That was all in 1 week. The dog, my best mate, and her car went bang. So she's, we'd had it repaired in Plymouth when she was up there seeing her mum and dad. And so obviously I sent her back to Plymouth, so she's had to get in our car, go back to Plymouth, pick the car, so she's away for a week. But yeah, Ray, if you want to go, mate, do a bit of about 18 foot or a 40 horse outboard, money pit, to be honest. They are, Ray. I've got a 16 foot Brighton beach boat that's had haircut. I mean, by that I mean, you know, the beach boats have got the convex transom. It comes out and the outboard sits like in an hole. Well, I've cut the back off to make her a foot shorter. So basically, she's 5 metres long. So when it goes in the marina, it's 15 foot. Because from 12 foot to 15 foot is, or up to 15 foot is price A. Over 15, from 16 foot to 20 foot is price B. Above that is price C. So I'm just being a tight git. I mean, I made it shorter, and I've got 25 on the back of her. purely because that's all I've got. I've got that and a 5 oars Honda. But the boat ain't built to go fast. But yeah, they can be a money pit. Luckily, I've had so many boats and so many trailers. I had all the bits, and I had to get the boat I've got now. Basically, what I had to do was get a cheap boat, do it up, sell that, get another boat that wanted some work. Not going to do a lot of work, but do that up, sell that. So took me 4 boats to get to where I am now and have the pennies to get this one done. So that's where I'm at now. That's me. So everything's done as I want it. And I fish mainly at night because you catch more at night, and B, it's quieter at night. But again, it's the affording it. That's the bit. You know, I only once did I buy a boat with a mate. We went half each. And that caused a bit of, not caused aggravation, caused a few problems, because obviously it's, unless you go together all the time, then you get, you know, well, I want to take them out, and it just got awkward. So, but it was half the price. But yeah, so I knocked that on the head. But the boat is now door. It'll turn this round that way. No, obviously not. No, I have to do it the other way. So, it's all new. The engine was 24 volts as you saw, but it was manual start, and it nearly pulled my arm out my socket every time I tried to start the thing. So I've got to start a motor, new starter, and turn it into electric start. So all I've got to do is push a button and it goes, which is a lot easier for me. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's a nice day today. Well, I say it's a nice day today. It don't look too windy today. But again, it's nobody's about, and I like fishing at night. So I'd like to fish Southampton water. I mean, Will said to me the other day something about going to Marcham. Yeah, I've got two solar panels, Ray. That's for the batteries for the lights. I've got all halogen, obviously. I've got oh, halogen, bloody fool, LED. I've got the navigation lights, anchor light, 2 forward spotlights and 2 side floodlights that shine on the water when you're fishing. That's it, Marchwood. And all the lights run off, and the fish finders and compass and everything runs off of 2 disability scooter batteries that I've linked. So, and they're in separate waterproof boxes. They're the green boxes. I don't know if you saw underneath the console. Well, basically, that runs all my lights. And in the engine, I put because I wanted to change it to electric start, I had to put a regulator rectifier in it, along with, the solenoid and the starter motor. Well, that charges the main battery. But they don't charge very well. I was looking yesterday on the old wind turbo, I don't know, chargers. Because I've got, on the A-frame, I've got a bit at the back that I could put one of them on, and then that would charge the battery, the main battery up for a wind turbine. But I've never had, touchwood, I've never had the lights go down on me. And if the battery should play up on the outboard, I've still got a pull start on it. So that would, as hard as it is to do, I'm not going to get stuck. I've got oars. Bugger trying to row that thing. That'd be like trying to row the Titanic. I mean, the oars are about 14 foot long. I look like a Viking coming in. So I've just got like the flares and that. If anything happens right there, I'll just like let the flare off, get on the Solent Coast Guard on the radio and say, come and get me. Got a cuddy on the front of her, so that comes up. I've stitched in the sides, 2 side panels in it, so you're at the wind. So it makes it a bit more pleasant if you're out there and it do get a bit windy. You've got and it's tall. It's a tall cuddy, tall enough, pretty much. I don't know, 5 foot, 4.5, 5 foot high. So it's plenty of room. Valhalla, yeah. Yeah, all I need is one of them big, like, carved out dogs on the front of it, and I'll be coming down the run with a 14-foot oars. Puffing like a train, trying to pull the oars. Of the 5 oars I got, which is there, I was going to have that as an auxiliary. But unfortunately, because the hull, as I say, it's a Brighton beach boat, so the hull curves down like that, and I've chopped the ends of it off. There's nowhere I can put an auxiliary, because the 5 oars would have been ideal for it. But I think if I bolted a transom plate to the back of it, I'm not opening that and the arse end to fall off. But yeah, we just need to get out. Ideal time now, due to weak network connection. How can I have a weak network connection? But rigs, this is my rig setup. So, I make all my own rigs. which is what I do. I sit out here making fishing rigs. Oh. The Pompey Fisherman fishing rigs. If you need any rigs, they're £2.50 each. All done proper, look. Old school spoon rig, look. Where can you get that for £3? I ask myself. I'm doing a Del Boy. Schmitz, how are you, fella? Yeah, I'm back. I've been doing the boat, and the weather's not been nice here, and I ain't got nobody to go out with. I'm Johnny No Mates, and so that's why I've not been on here. But I'm all ready to go. We just need to get on the fish. And as I said earlier in the thing, I like fishing for the freezer. So I fish for what I can eat. I don't take liberties. When I go bass fishing, on average, we catch 8 or 9 bass. Okay, not all of them are 40 centimetres, 42 centimetres plus, but out of, if there was 5 or 6 of them that size, I'll only keep 2 for the freezer. I love plaice. It's my favourite fish, plaice and cod. So they're the 2 I would like to catch. I've got I don't know if it's 100 metre or 100 yards. Brand new drift net, which legally I can use. It's 5-inch mesh, all legal, all brand new. But again, shooting it on my own is hard work now, and that's never been used. But yeah, I fish for the freezer. And Sue loves fishing. The wife, she loves fishing. She outfishes me. But I love the summer. I'm not a lover of the winter. Netting on your own sounds like... It's not too bad, to be honest. Schmeltz, it's where it's a mono drift net, so basically you haven't got anchors on it. All you got is a buoy each end, and it's fishing line. It's mono, it's fishing line. So all you got floats and a really light lead line, which is like a bit of string with lead sewn into it. So it's not heavy at all. Unless you hit a load of weed, and then it's a pain in the backside. But it's not heavy, but you pull it in, float line, lead line, and it's 12 foot wide, 12 foot deep. So you've got to pull it in like so. When there's 2 of you, obviously you're standing further apart, and you can't stand there like Jesus on the cross trying to pull the thing in, because I just ain't got the strength for that. But it's what I used to do is I'd go out, I'd shoot the net, and then I'd drift with the net. So I'd be rod and line fishing on the drift, and anything from the top of the water down to 12 foot deep that is bigger than 5 inches in diameter, you catch. So it's legal mesh. Hello, Martin. So yeah, it's you don't catch small stuff. I mean, they'll just swim straight through it. But it's good fun. I enjoy it. I mean, you're sat there, you're fishing with your rod and line, you're drifting along out Halen Bay or wherever. And when the fish hits the net and it gets caught in the net, the float goes down. So you've got a row of floats, I don't know, 200 floats, with round white floats. And what you'll see is as they snake in the water, as it's drifting along, the float will dip. So as soon as you see the float dip, you know you've got a fish in the net, because as it's trying to pull out the net, it's pulling the float down. It's almost like float fishing on a grander scale. But it's good fun. It's good fun. And again, you don't catch anything too small. There's nothing here, i.e. dolphins or porpoises, that are going to get tangled in a net, which I don't, you know, obviously I don't agree with. There's bugger all like that where I'll shoot the net. And because it's only 100 metres long, or 100 foot long, can't remember, it's all legal. It's you don't need a commercial fishing licence. You're just fishing for the freezer. And I only do one drift with a net. If I catch anything, happy days. If I don't catch anything, it's back in the net basket, and I'll just carry on rod and lining. But yeah, that was the plan. The net is still in the net bucket. Brand foreigner, never been in the water. It is fun. It's just something different, you know. The idea was, the problem I thought, oh God, if I fish on my channel and put a net out, is that going to upset anyone? Because it's like not rod and line fishing. But I don't know. I mean, hopefully people will realise. Can you PM me a list of beach rigs you do? I will contact you what I want and come over and collect the shit. Yeah, that's fine, right? No worries, fella. I basically build every rig out there. From the Pompey Loop rig, up and over rig, drop down, pulley rig, pulley panel rigs, bass rigs, place rigs, cod rigs, conger rigs, 100 pound wire, snow, trace, sorry. Any rig you want, I'll build them. It's all Gemini gear. The main line is 80 pound Blue Merlin, and all my snood lines are Amnesia, 25 or 30 pound. Hooks, Aberdeen, Aberdeen, Mustad, and Gemini, O'Shaughnessy. I only use top quality gear. Swivels are, the trace swivels are 65 pound, mainline swivels 100 pound, and the rig swivels are 295 pound power swivels. So you've got no excuse if you don't catch anything. The first one I made for Reese, he said to me, I know you said these rigs are strong. I went, yeah. He said, well, I'm fishing over Halen, I've hooked into a buoy and I'm pulling the buoy in and the line won't break. And in the end, his main line broke. So, but I said to him, well, my rigs don't break. Which we had a laugh about. Martin, if you're still on there, if you fancy a trip out in the boat, can you let me know? Because I'd like to get out over the next 2-3 days. And I didn't know if you fancy a go out. Since you bought a boat rod and you didn't get much use use out of it, I think I heard you say once. Won't be going far. Yeah, not a problem, Ray. I mean, you know, They're £2.50 each, mate. £2.50 each. And to be honest, out of that, I think I make about 45p. But it gives me something to do. You know, on days where I've got nothing to do, I'll just get up in the morning. I'll make all the stainless steel fast clips myself. Out of 316 stainless steel 1.5mm wire. So it gives me a reason to get out of bed, fella, to be honest. Because days are gone when like, we could go and play football, eh? And I don't drink, so I don't go to a pub. All I do is smoke. You know, I made some baits up yesterday of small squid and black lug. You can't see them; they just look like a big black mess. But then I've got the vacuum machine, and I thought, yeah, I'll vacuum them, and it sucked all the juices out of it into the vacuum machine. So I think I've done something wrong there. So the all's in me bait freezer at the moment is 7 mils from Iceland. You know, the microwave meals, because Sue's away. So I'm Captain Microwave Meal. I bungs one of them in every night for 6 minutes, and that's my best bit of dinner. Which is a laugh. Same with you, Ray. If you want to go out come out in the boat, Ray, get a sheet. We can go and have a disaster. But like I say, I only fish at night. We two old farts on a boat. I'm sat here, it's not even cold, and I've got me fishing thermal waterproof bib and braces on. Because I don't know about any other guys out there like that are getting on a bit, but I feel the cold now. Never used to. It's part of getting old, I suppose. And I seem to be accumulating rods. I don't know, I think that's I don't know, like, how many rods does one man need? Boat rods, beach rods, I mean, how many rods can a man use? And it ain't like they're all, hang on, can I get me tripod up? It's not like they're all specialist rods. Yeah, no worries, Ray. No, it'd be, let's face it, go out, drown a few worms, shoot the shit, catch up, flask of tea, happy days. Putting the deck in the boat was the best bit. Oh my mate, I couldn't even lift the board up. I put 18mm marine ply deck in her, and I had to wait for one of my boys to pop in like after work to give me a lift in with the plywood. I couldn't lift it off the bleeding ground. That's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? And then I had a cover over it while I was glassing it all in, so I came out of there like I'd had about 15 Bob Marley cigarettes. I was always a kite. So that was eventful. I think that's the only time I've been happy in the past 10 years. I was always a kite on the fumes. I remember years and years ago at Portsmouth, there was down by South Play Pier, there was a compound, and you used to have a load of like wooden 12-foot to 15-foot boats in it. And every year they used to do a fishing competition for the children. And my old mum used to take me down there, and you'd have a old-fashioned hand line on the wooden frame with a big watch lead, and they'd take you out fishing. And we used to catch hundreds of fish in the Solent, off the seafront. Pouting, whiting, flounders. Not so much bass I can remember in them days. Bream, all sorts. And it was brilliant. And it was done, I think the fishermen all got together, it was something to do with the council, I can't remember. But it's a shame they don't do it anymore. Because you take, all the kids used to come down. You'd have the skipper and one mate on the boat. They'd show you how to use it. I think they had about 5 kids to a boat. And they only used to go eat by the blocks or off the end of Sea Prey Pier and anchor up. But it was a brilliant, I think they'd done it for maybe a week of it in the summer. And it was brilliant. I mean, it introduced all the young kids into fishing. Didn't use rods, as I say, use hand lines. And then you got a prize at the end of it, like, you know, obviously, who caught the most fish. And that's really what got me into sea fishing at the age of about 6. And by the time I was 14, I had my own Langston Fisherman with a Seagull 40 plus with a clutch on the back of it, down at Langston. And I was eat fishing the whole of the summer from 14. Then I got, like, the older boys down there, the charter boys. I got to know them. And they used to take me out charter fishing, not charter fishing, commercial fishing, with otter trawls and the old beam trawls and that. And I used to love it. But you don't seem to have that for kids anymore. You know, not big expensive boats, not, you know, they weren't sort of big flash boats. They was proper old wooden fishing boats. What people are called dinghies now, I suppose. Like I say, only up to about 15, 16, about the size of boat as I got. And you'd all put your little life jackets on and go off the beach, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. It cost, I don't know, like £half a in them days, I don't know. But it was great. All the mums and dads used to take him down and then come back, pick them all up again. And I think they should do that. I think somebody should organise that. But now you can't have a boat on the beach anymore. The compound's long gone. Mooring fees, they're turning everything into yacht harbours, because obviously there's more money in that. I think it's a shame. Plus the weather used to be better in them days, I suppose. You know, you had the 4 seasons, which we don't get anymore. We just get loads of rain, bit of sun, heaps of wind, few earthquakes, couple of forest fires, volcanoes. Natural disasters. But I'm waffling, and I'm old age. But as soon as I know where the cod are, I'll let you all know. I'm not one of them that goes out and, oh, I've got a secret mark. I'll tell you exactly where they are. A couple of the guys that are commercial fishing at the moment, they've got water temperature gauges as well, which is a lot to do with, as you know, or you don't know, when the cod come in. And they fish flat ground. They feed flat ground. They don't feed on rocky ground. They're a lazy fish. Cod are a lazy fish. They don't chase nothing. You know, if it's half dead or slow, then they'll eat it, and they'll eat anything. I mean, I remember years ago that one of my mates caught a cod out by where are we? Off Bembridge Ledge. There was a I don't know if it was a tanker boat or like a cruiser or whatever. Anyway, got the cod in, gutted it. It was full up with peas, carrots, green beans, like what had been thrown off the boat. They're like hoovers, they'll eat anything. 14 was mainly beach, gave away a couple of boat rods and reels to the angling addict 75. I still have a couple of boat rods any case. Did South the angling come by the parade pier? Oh yeah, it was a lifetime ago, Ray, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Unfortunately nowadays everything is money driven. Even the roughest marina in the world, with no facilities whatsoever apart from pontoons, they want 200 quid a month just to tie your boat up, like a boat my size. So, I ain't got much chance, have you really? I do like Northerny though. You know, I can drop me boat in, park me trailer in I can leave me boat on the trailer down there, which isn't expensive. But then you've got to keep putting it in and out of the slipway. And the only problem with the slipway at Northerny, it's like about 20-degree slipway. It's like that. But you can get out any state of the tide, which is good. And like I say, if I had a few more quid, I'd be leaving the boat afloat in the small boat berth, and that way I can just wander down, like just take me rods and bait, wander down, jump on her and go, which is the best way. But then I haven't got automatic bilge pump on her. I've got a manual bilge pump on her, but I'd have to fit an auto bilge pump just in case the Evans do open up and we get a gazillion ton of rainwater. And if she's out, and Northerny's really protected, the wind don't affect it there. You know, it's sort of cut into the cove, so it don't matter if it blows an hooligan, you're not going to get any damage. But yeah, I mean, I don't use the coffee place and all that because it's for the yuppies. And some of the boats down there are absolute fortunes. And all the years I've been going down there, I don't think I've hardly ever seen any of them move. People just comes down, I know, from London or whatever, and sits on them, drinks wine and champagne and cheese, and then sleeps on them and goes back up to smoke. Troy Langston Angling Club at mine there with a mooring nowhere near the figures you were talking about price was. The problem with Langston Angling Club, I was in Loxway Fishing Club. The problem I got there, right, is if I put her on a mooring, then I've got to have a dinghy, then I've got to drag that up and down the beach and carry an outboard or row, and I can't row for the life of me, so it's got to be on a berth, it's got to be on a pontoon. And Southsea Marina is a fortune. Yeah, Loxway Road. Yeah, I was down there. When I was down there, Tony O'Shea's wife, Chrissy, she was behind the bar. and we had Sue Lynn down there. But again, I had her out on the mooring, on a swing mooring, which meant I had to walk the dinghy all the way down past the sailing club, out the compound, down past the little sailing club there, and row out to me mooring. And I'm not fit enough for that anymore, right? And I'll come back one night. We went fishing one night, came back, somebody nicked the dinghy in the outboard, and I found it down by the Hayland Ferry pontoon, Pompey side. They'd obviously run it up the beach, was buggered off to get something to load it into, but I took it back before then. But yeah, ragworm, I've always fished ragworm. For bass, where I fish for bass is the best bait. Never done any good on lug or squid. They don't seem to want anything to do with it. But again, I was down Cosham angling yesterday, and I bought some frozen lug because I make the baits up anyway, so it don't make no difference to me they're frozen. I'm going to freeze them at the end of the day. But if I buy a pound of rag, for whatever reason I can't get out that night, within a couple of days they're dead. That's 17 quid done in cold blood, and I hate wasting bait. And I always buy too much. Because I know what'll happen. If I buy half a pound, I'll run out. One of them, innit? Hi, Johnny. How are you, fella? I'm just having a rant, my old mate. Not a rant. I'm waffling. I thought I haven't been on here for months, so I better let people know I'm still alive. And look, everybody else, we are waiting for the cod to appear without having to drive all the way down to Wales or the Bristol Channel, or, which is out of my range, walk down Chesil Beach, which is like apparently walking on quicksand for about 3 miles and then make sure you don't get drowned by the waves. I don't know why I don't just get out. Salt them down, save money. Yeah, I tried that salting them down bit, Ray, and I ended up with excuse my French, used Johnnies, and they're just like skin with nothing in them. They're all right for wrasse and that type of thing, I suppose. But I've never had no joy with them. It's just you put them on the yacht and then put it in the water, and when you pull it up, you just got like a bag of mush, and you've got to put about 8 or 9 of them on because they're empty. And I've never done no good with it. So, but I did try it. I ended up feeding the seagulls with them. I should just hook the boat up, drive over the marina, put it in the water and go fishing. That's what I should do. Can I raise the enthusiasm? No. I've got more enjoyment out of building the boat and the trailer. All right, I mean, go back 30 years, it would have took me probably 2 weeks to do the whole lot. It took me 3 months because I had to keep stopping, sitting down. But that was enjoyable, and it's nice to have something you've actually built. No, Jay, the weather's been... It's the wind. The wind's the problem. I can live with the cold. I can put the cuddy up on the front. I've got one of them little things you can boil a kettle on that runs off of like aerosol cans, and I've got a heater, the same thing, that runs off aerosol cans if it got that cold. But there's nothing apart from bass. There's nothing ain't there. Nothing that I can say, well, I'm going to go out, I can go to this mark, that mark, the other mark, and definitely catch a cod place. Eat by the Forts. I had one place this year, and that was Eat by the Fort on anchor. Went out there mackerel fishing. Couldn't find a mackerel for love nor money. Chased the birds round at Swear Deep by Chichester Harbour. There was a million birds out there working. So we have literally gone through the middle of the birds. Absolutely nothing. So I don't know what they was chasing, but it certainly weren't mackerel. Didn't get anything. 3 sets of feathers out. Absolutely nothing. So unless I move to the west coast or go down a pool or sandbanks, I don't think I'm going to be catching place. As Ben said earlier, Southampton Water, they're catching sole at Southampton Water, but it's a long old run for me. I'll use 2 tanks of fuel there and back, and then you're looking at 60 quid in fuel. So we are a bit a conundrum. And my little mate Reese boy, little mate, the size of a mountain, he's working on his banger race and stock car race and thing, which is good for the boys. You know, he's earning himself a few quid, but he's lost the will to go out. So I've lost my little mate Thor. Don't look a bad day today. I mean, it's a bit windy in the trees. It's overcast. It's not cold. But they've give it 40 mile an hour winds tonight. I think Tuesday is the first day. Yeah, he is. He's an absolute diamond, Jay. One night, don't know if I've told you this before on YouTube, but one night I had to get the boat out. Me and Sue had to get the boat out of the water, and bless her heart, I mean, like, she can't wade around shoving boats around. And Reese, we're talking about 1:30 in the morning. Reese got on his push bike and he rode all the way from his house to Northern Marina to help me get the boat out. That's how much of a nice lad he is. And he's funny, you like. I mean, he's a complete nightmare. He's the most awkward fella on the planet. When we had the little dory, I used to fill half the dory up on his own, but he is clumsy as you like. He'd trip over stuff that ain't even there. And he can survive on about 14 Red Bulls and bags of crisps. Yeah, he is a brilliant lad. I love him to bits. He phones me every day, bless his heart. Phoned me this morning, I was still a kip. Telling me like what engines he had to take out, and had to jack a frame out of one of the race cars and bless his heart. Yeah, and me, Jay, and me. I'll make him like, he'll come up, he'll phone me up, Bill needs some rigs. So I makes him his rigs up, because like, I don't charge him nothing, I mean like, he's a mate. He'll lose 4 in one night. I says to him, mate, how do you manage it? How can you lose 4 rings in one night when you're fishing on a beach that's just stones? But the last time he went to Shoreham, he didn't catch nothing. So he messaged me about 1 o'clock in the morning. I've had enough, this is crap, I'm not going no more, I'm freezing, I'm wet, I'm cold, I ain't had a bite all night. And I think that's the last time he went. He's been out with me in the new boat once when I first got it, and it was just a shell. It had no deck in it, and I had the 5-horse Honda on the back of it. No suspension on the trailer, because when I bought the trailer it had no suspension. And so we towed it down there, it bounced all over the place. We put it in the water, went out fishing, had a few bass, come back in, brought it back here, and it's been here ever since because I've been building it. Yeah, great, Jay, brilliant. I mean, I'm not, how can I put it? I like chatting to other anglers. And there's some really nice people on here. And touch wood, I don't get slaughtered. You can take the mickey out of me all day long. I've got broad shoulders, I can wear it. Sue outfishes me. But it's just nice to share. I'm at my happiest, and always have been, in a boat on the water. More so than fishing off the beach. That's where I'm at my happiest. When I fall off the twig, they're going to set light to me and throw me in the Solent. So I'll be floating around for eternity. Nobody catch nothing then. But yeah, we're my cup of tea. I'm waiting really. I'll say for the weather. The weather's good. I mean, I could be out now if I could raise the enthusiasm. I've got bait in the freezer. I've made all the baits up. Okay, I've made them up for cod baits, and I made big baits, so I'm going to have to use them on pennel rigs. But it's just, I looks a bit of company when I'm out there. I'm not a great one for fishing on me Todd. So bless you. I looks a bit of company when I'm out there, and Reese is a laugh. I mean, we do have a laugh, mainly at him, I hasten to add, because like he'll be like Captain Disaster from start to finish. But he's lost the will a bit, which I can understand. It's not fun when you're, to me, if I've never blanked on a boat. Ever. That's my saving grace. I've blanked off the shore a million times, but I've not blanked on a boat, because I know even wherever I'm fishing, I know, okay, I'm not catching anything here, I know where I can go and I'm going to catch bass. I just want to catch something else. I don't want to catch eels. Not, you know, I hate eels. And I don't like skate, and I don't like ray. So, as I said before, I fish for the freezer, so I like to eat what I catch. So it's not like a sport fisherman is. When people catch like congers and thornbacks and what, it's for the sport, and I'm not a sport fisherman. I'll go fishing to catch fish, to take them home and eat, because I love it. But you know, unfortunately, there ain't that much in my immediate area apart from bass. There's 50 million of them. I mean, like every night when I fish and I come back over Raelan Island early in the morning, if it's high water, there's 35 little Chinese fellas fishing off Aylan Pier, catching undersized bass for the Chinese restaurant. That I don't agree with, but there is so many of them. I mean, bass were under threat, overfished and under threat. Now, there's nothing but bass. The seals don't like them, because they sticks in their gobs when they try and eat them. But they've absolutely cleaned out in Langston and Chichester and Emsworth. They've completely stripped it of flounder, plaice, sole, pollock. There's none of them left, because Cyril the Seal and his 14 mates have ate them all. There's no oysters, there's no clams, they've ate all them and all. And all because the council decided, what a good idea, we'll put 3 sets of breeding seals in the harbour, and then we'll buy 2 boats and we'll charge people to go out and watch the seals sitting on the mud and swimming around popping their heads up. They thought we could make good money out of that. So that's what they did. Then they realised it was like having a sheep farm and putting 3 sets of breeding wolves in with the sheep, that it wouldn't work. So they tried selling the seals or giving the seals away, and nobody else wants the seals. The seals have consequently bred like rabbits, and they eat 4 times their body weight of fish a day. So they've eaten everything in the harbour. The 2 boats that the council got for taking the people seal watching, one of them's never moved off the mooring, and the other one don't work. So that went tits up. Can you explain that? Mum, went to school together, played football together, and shared the same German pen friend. Right. On my we have to find the wreck boy, Stokes Bay. Have you tried gill kicker? No, the reason being, I'll get back to you in a minute, right? The reason being I haven't fished gill kicker, Jay, is because launching my boat off the beach, I think, will be a nightmare. Because I've got to put it in the water, then drag the bow up the beach, then go park the trailer and the car, then come back, then try and push the boat out in the water, then climb on the boat, which will be like something out of Monty Python's Flying Circus, me trying to climb on the boat, and then do it all again when I get back on my own. So, no, I haven't fished there. Getting back to you, Ray. Right, you've always known me as Lindsay. When I was my driving licence, birth certificate, everything is William Lindsay. Me mum wanted to call me Lindsay, so she did. And when I was old enough to realise that she gave me a duff name, and it was my middle name, I kicked up a bit. And she said to me, when I'm dead, you can go back to being Bill or William, which basically is what happened. Once my mum passed, I then reverted back to William. So everybody in Pompey knows me as Lindsay or Beaner, and basically that's how it came about, fella. I hated the name. I mean, would you walk around with a name like Lindsay Bean? You know what I mean? Mr. Bean came along and that completely K-lined me, because I got like everybody was, oh, hello, how's your yellow mini? Christmas socks. Hello, today, and all that old game. So, yeah, that's how it came about. But yeah, it wasn't good. Joined the Marines and got called Runner. That was even worse. I wonder what happened to old Detlef, Ray. He was a nice lad, wasn't he? If anybody looked else on there, me and Ray went to school together. I think he was a year below me. Played football together, same school. And it weren't till about a year ago that he popped up and I thought, I know that name. And there's, in between that, through my life, I suppose I've lived in England, well, Portsmouth, a third of my life. Rest of the time, I mean, America, Canada, Spain, Mallorca, I've been all over the shop. Having to work, obviously, not like jolly in it. But always been working class, always worked with my hands, hence body falls apart. But I can honestly say, hand on heart, I wouldn't change anything. No regrets. I've enjoyed my stay on planet Earth. Hard times, but they make you appreciate the good times. And nobody's ever given me nothing. So, which is a good thing. The kids of the day, I mean, like, we used to get a little present for your birthday and a little present for Christmas, and you look forward to that. Now, and I'm the same, don't get me wrong, with my kids, they get iPhones and iPads, and just for the sake of everybody at school's got one, so I want one. And then when Christmas comes around or a birthday comes around, they expect a really good present, which is a heap of dough. And then you get in debt trying to provide your kids with a decent, like, massive present. And it's sort of keeping up with the Joneses, I think. But all my kids work. I'm proud of all my kids. And they've always stood on their own 2 feet. So I must have done something right somewhere. So the name will go on, poor little buggers. Reece phoned me this morning. As I said before, I wasn't even awake. He phones me every day, bless him. And he was coming round. When was he was coming round? Friday night. We were supposed to be going fishing. I think it was Friday night. So I didn't hook the boat up and get ready. He was supposed to be here at 10 o'clock. So anyway, I thought he ain't going to turn up. You know, look, I know he ain't going to turn up because he's at work all day. So 12 o'clock comes, I get the obligatory text, you up? So I text him back, yeah. So he phones me. My phone went flat. I said, of course it did. We did drive over it. Oh no, I've had this hard day. And I said to him, I've had the boat hooked on the back of the car. I've got all the bait out. I've got all the rods out. The car's full up, ready for you at 10 o'clock. I didn't. You know what I mean? Because I knew he wouldn't come. Trying to make him feel guilty. All he done was laughed. No, it ain't right. Trust me, it ain't. I remember when I first had my oldest boys, my old man was a horrible bastard, but like, I had to walk from Southsea to Willsey to borrow 50p off of my old man to put some electric on. Yeah, it is, Jay. It is, Reece. But it does, it defines who you end up being. And yet, I don't know, I've never had nothing, yet I'll give everything away. Hi, Stuart. I mean, work that one, eh? I ain't got nothing, but I'll still give things away. If somebody needs something and I've got it, I'll give it to them. I'd never make a businessman all the time my backside points downwards. Don't make sense, do it? But back to the rods and reels and all that old game. And the kids not being able to get fishing and go fishing. And I don't know, I think it's because they're all into the old computer games. They don't go out no more, do they? They sit indoors playing computer games. When we was kids, we was always doing something. Okay, Reece keeps telling me they're catching cod here, they're catching cod there. I suppose in the law of averages, I mean, they're only, it's like so-and-so caught £6 cod, say at, I don't know, Chesil Beach. But when you work out how many people have fished Chesil Beach, about 150 people have fished it, but one man's caught a £6 cod. So everybody thinks there's cod, and they all rush there, and they don't catch nothing. If you had, you know, personally, if I heard of someone catching 5 or 6 cod, because they swim in shoals. Now that's right, Jay. It was never indoors. We was always out. And we didn't have no money, so we sort of like, you make your own entertainment, don't you? But fishing was a big part of my life. I'd go down, like in Portsmouth, you got the Canoe Lake in Southsea. I used to go down there with one of them little 2-bob nets, catching shrimp. Only little tiny things like that. And then like I'd take them down to the Hot Walls, the old bunny pipe at the Hot Walls, and I'd be down there catching shoal bass. Didn't cost nothing. You know what I mean? Cheap old rod. And another thing, like nowadays, it's like, it's a Shimano this, or it's a Fred Conqueror's rod that's like 400 quid. and the reel's got to be like Harry Briggs in special this, that, and the other. And I think, hang on, 400 quid for a rod or more, 300 quid for a reel. At the end of the day, yeah, but I can cast further with it and all that going. 9 times out of 10, you're casting over the top of the fish because the fish are in close, because they're fishing, they're feeding where the food is. And it's like Reese, bless him. I mean, he works for his bit of dough, don't get me wrong, but he don't like telling me, and when he does tell me, what he spent on rods. It's like I've bought an go fish, go anywhere, whatever, rod. He has it 3 days, breaks an eye, because Reese always breaks eyes, let's face it. I mean, he's clumsy as you like. I mean, like, he's only got to look at a rod and it'll fall over on the beach. So then it costs him however much to have it re-eyed, and then he's had his name put on it, and pucker job. And the rod owes him about 500 quid. And I think, why? You know what I mean? Like, you've got a rod is an implement, like, with eyes in it, and a reel's got line on it. They'll spend £1 million on a rod and reel, and 2 bob on the business end. You know, the traces, the tackle, the hooks, whatever. And I just don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Yeah, but the tip is more, you can see the bite better. Mate, when a fish gets hold of an hook and does a runner, it don't matter if you've got a broomstick or a fishing rod, like a whip. You're going to know it's on there. If it ain't done a runner, then when you reel the bait in, it's still going to be there. If it's hooked itself, it's hooked itself. I mean, Reese, when he gets a bite, 9 times out of 10, I think, when he reels it in, he's going to have a set of teeth, because he strikes into it that hard, it'll pull the bugger's jaws out of his gob. I just think he's going to have a set of teeth coming in like that. The rest of the fish going to be swimming around like a 90-year-old giving it all that. But it might be me, I don't know. I just think it's obscene to have well, let's face it, it's like fashion. You buy a pair of Armani jeans, they cost you 350 quid. You buy a pair of jeans off of Amazon for a tenner. They've both got pockets. None of the bits are missing. They work. Because it ain't got Armani written on it. There you go. Many people said I would not catch anything on what gear I was using. £6. Exactly so, Jay. I don't care. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't walk, I don't know about you guys, but I don't walk along looking at fisherman's gear thinking, have a look, he's got a Versace rod. Oh, I want one. I'm looking at what he's caught. Caught anything, mate? On your 3 million quid set of gear? No. To me, that's like, well, even if you had 3 bobs worth of gear, you still wouldn't have caught nothing, would you? But there you go. I suppose when you're a professional fisherman or yeah, exactly so, Jay. They cast over the top of them, mate. But most, you know, I don't know, is it because when you've got a YouTube channel? I mean, and people say, right, I'm fishing today, I'm using my Fred Blancs rod, £60, fucking, like, 3 ounce to 5 ounce cast, and with a Shimano reel that has got a 6-to-1 winding ratio and £30 mono line made by fucking whoever, and I think you got a rod and a reel, mate. You know what I mean? Let's have a look, see what you catch. That's what fishing's about. Well, yeah, what's a label? What's that all about? I've got a heap of rods and a heap of reels. Every single one of them I've caught fish on, apart from an ugly stick. I bought Sue an ugly stick on Facebook Marketplace for 20 quid. It was brand new. And I'll give it to her, and she loves it a bit because of the weight of it. And I noticed that the tip were glowed up in the lights when we put the lights on them, and she said, oh, she loved it. And I've got Omnis, Shakespeare Omnis, 4 of them, I think. I've got them like you get. I don't know. I've got them cheap on eBay or whatever. And they're a bit thicker. But I thought, she keeps catching fish, I ain't catching nothing. I'll get myself an ugly stick. So I got myself one. And everybody was going on about them. To be fair, best, like, you get a real bend when you're fighting the fish and it's good fun and all that game. So I thought, okay, it's not heaps of money. Like, I think it's 50 quid, which to me for a rod is a heap of money. I thought I'll get one of them. I still ain't caught nothing, but there you go. So I've got three Omni, Shakespeare Omnis, 2 ugly sticks. The reels, I don't know what they are. Charlie Farley 25 quid jobs. I've never lost a fish on them. They've never broke. They've never not wound a fish in, and they work perfectly. So why would I want to spend 300 quid on a reel? Admittedly, the rigs, because as you guys know, I make all my own rigs. I sell my own rigs as well. But I'm the worst businessman on the planet. I buy the top quality components and top quality line to make me rigs. So, but it's not about the money. It's about, it gives me something to do. And I enjoy doing it. I used to have me indoors in the conservatory. It's out here in the workshop now, but I used to have all the gear in there, and even like making the stainless steel fast clips, after you've made about 30 of them, it's like muscle memory. You can sit there watching the telly making them. They're not worth, I don't even know how much they are to buy the flipping things, but I just enjoy making them because, like, I think, well, when I do catch a fish, all the gear on that, I've made it myself. And I've got customers in Wales, Scotland's the furthest I've had. And everybody that's bought rigs off me have always come back and bought more. It's funny though, they always buy about, you get guys that buy, say, 2 or 3, obviously they want to test them out. Then they'll come back and buy 15 of them, and then obviously you don't see them again, because the rigs don't break, the hooks don't rust. So it's like selling an item that is going to not last forever, don't get me wrong, but you can use them and use them and use them and use them. So I've sort of like shot myself in the foot a bit there, I suppose. And of course, when I first started making them, I thought, blimey, these are going well. Although I'm only earning like 40 pence a rig, I thought I better stock up with all the components. So everything I did make, and more I've put into buying all the equipment. Then it fell flat on its face because all the people I was selling them to, they weren't breaking, or they kept using them and using them. So I'm now thinking I could probably make 1,000 rigs with what I've got. I was buying a line a mile at a time. I opened my tackle bag up. I must have 60 rigs in there. So what's that all about? Still not caught anything on mine. You're fishing in the wrong place, bruv, Stu. I told you, you're not going to catch nothing in the sink. You've got to go eat to the sea. But when you do catch something, it won't come off. That's all I can say. And you get a free tackle box sticker. What more do you want? It's like the bait needles. I thought I'd make up some bait needles. So I made out a load of stainless steel baiting needles. I don't know what, I can't remember, it was that long ago, but I bought like all the neoprene balls for them. And the stainless steel, I think that's 8mm. No. 6mm possibly, can't think. Stainless steel, which cost me about, I think I bought 2 kilo of it, which cost me about 40 quid, I think. I think I sold 2. I'll give the lot your bloody rigs. I kept giving the others away. I ain't going to be Alan Sugar, am I? Hello, Sharksmith Angling. How are you, sir? This is just got nothing better to do, so I thought I'd come on here and talk to you guys. See if anything good's happening. To be honest, if I could find not a marina, because I'm in a marina at Northern and they're bloody expensive, but a fishing club or something where I could put me little boat on the trailer and it was easy to launch from and all that, so I could fish Southampton water, I would, because that's where the fish are. But the steam there from where I am is just too long. And if I put it in at Langston, by the time you put the boat in, the tide runs so hard, the boat's 300 yards down the beach before you know what you're doing, and you're playing chase the ace and trying to get it back on the trailer. That's a complete disaster. But I have found a couple of boat yards in the Southampton area, and unfortunately they're either too far down the River Amble, or one of them was by the scrapyard in I don't know Southampton at all, but it was by Southampton scrapyard. I think it's somewhere around the old Dell used to be. I might be completely wrong, but that was too expensive. Gosport, if there was a little club in Gosport that I could get out of, sort of Stokes Bay, anywhere around that area, that I'd willingly drive down to Gosport. Yeah, Sharksmith, what a disaster. I mean, while you're trying to get the boat on the trailer, the waves are smashing the back of the boat and shifting it everywhere. The tide's trying to rip it and send it to France, or it's trying to send it to the Eastern Road. And you can't hang on to the boat, try and wind the winch and keep the boat straight without having 13 coronaries and need about 25 cups of coffee and a good sit down. Hardway Sailing Club. Is that somewhere that I could leave the boat on the trailer, or has it got pontoons or something? What I don't want to do is put her on a swing mooring for two reasons. If we get a storm, by the time I get from Waterlooville to Gosport, the boat's going to have deep sixed itself. And B, I don't know anybody over there that could keep an eye on it for me. Ideally, I'd like somewhere whereas I could just walk down and get on the boat. But as I say, I don't know anybody over there. And I've never fished them waters, to be fair. I've trawled down to where the old the power plant with the big chimney that they knocked down the other day. I've towed down there, trawling, but I've never actually, and I've had a fixed course. So I know exactly where I'm not going in the shallow water, or I know exactly where I'm going, or I knew exactly where I was going at the time. All right, Ray, look after yourself, my friend. Thanks for coming on, having a chat, and like I say, let me know about the rigs, buddy. And we'll sort them out and you come over and have a cup of tea. Be safe. Yeah, if there was somewhere, the Hardway Sailing Club, if I could, if it was not out of my price range, yeah, great, I don't mind driving to, I mean, I only fish at night, so driving on and off of Gosport ain't a problem. It's just the getting it on and off the trailer bit, I can't do it on my own. I did ask Will a couple of times, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I think he's a bit dubious of me, I don't know why. Because he knows that's where he fishes from. Used to in his kayak and now in his little sib. But I don't know. A free slip, free parking. Could you give me a ring on that? If I, hang on, I'll put my number down. Just come out back to front. It might do, wouldn't it? That's back to front, isn't it? Plus my writing is crap. How'd you write that back to front? Hang on, my brain's going the other way. Yeah, no, if I'd gladly put it over there, Sharksmith. That would be great for me. Because you got fish over there. I only use Northerny because it's, I can put the boat on a pontoon, and but what I do is I go down. My membership is I can leave my boat on my trailer in the yard and use the slipway anytime I want. But what I normally do is I'll go down and I'll, with Reese, and we'll launch it, and if me and Sue will launch it as well. But then when we come in, we'll put it on the pontoon, and then we don't have the aggravation of towing it back out at like 3 o'clock in the morning and all that old malarkey. And then we'll, if it's nice weather, we'll go out for 2 or 3 nights. And then when we finish, Reese boy will come down with me and help me get it back on the trailer, and then I'll tow it home, put it on my drive. Right it, again, over the right and turn it over. Right, hang on. Nah, I'll try righting it. But the three's going to have to be backwards, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Oh. Messed that up, hang on. This is a nightmare. Right, turn it over. This is like the Krypton factor. There you go. I won't have to sit down now. My brains work so hard doing that. Plus, I don't know any. Is it safe over there? Like, as in, I'm not going to come back and the fish finder's going to be gone, the engine's going to be gone, batteries are going to be gone. Got it, give me a couple of minutes. No worries, I'm on my phone now at the moment, Sharksmith, so if you can, when I'm off of here, if you can give me a, time is it? 3:52. You give me a ring sort of between 5 and 6, that'd be brilliant. Now, I'd like to have the boat over there. Like I say, I can't have her on a swing mooring because I can't physically drag a dinghy down the beach and row out or carry an outboard down and get out to the boat on a swing mooring. It's all about being old and falling apart, unfortunately. And it takes 2. I can't do it on my own. But, and I don't really know, so I don't know the marks out there on off. Is that the one that you came in on your rubber dinghy while me and Reese were out, and Will was on his ironing board, i.e. the kayak fishing? If you know anyone wants a 5-horse 4-stroke Honda, I've got one over here. Nice little engine, runs perfecto. And that's the tank that goes with it, with a new hose. Ah, right, yeah, because that was good fishing there. But I think that's when, what did we have then? I think we had the little dory then. Me and Reese was eight on. And we had to park the trailer on the grass and the boat in the little area there. Obviously the trailer's a lot bigger now. But is there like an angling club there that you can join? And do they let broken old buggers in there? See, I could go over there, couldn't I? I could be one of them old farts that sits on a wooden rocking chair and, like, when the angler's coming in, like old Salty Sea Dog or something, you know? Back when I was a boy, I used to catch fish down there. Herring I used to catch down there. Gospel won't know what's hitting, will they, if I turns up. You can go out the road, Bill, and trailer and car. Go out the road? That means I've got to walk back. So could I join the club? Got special handshakes and like all that game, is it? Or can I be a new member? As I say, I only fish at night, so driving on and off the Gospel at night ain't a problem. Especially if the boat's already there. It's just during the day, it's like a complete nightmare, isn't it? Not far. I walks down my drive and gets in my motor, that's about as far as I can walk. Do they have a locked up compound or something there with a slipway, or do you have to use the slipway that me and Reese use, which it's a sailing club, not a fishing club? Does that mean I've got to put a sail on me boat? And I'll put a bamboo stick up with an hanky on it when they let me in then? I've got to wear them blue welly boots and Armani jacket. And I bet they got rid of Fishing Club, Jay, because the Ray Emerys wanted a higher class of clientele. I mean, I don't particularly want to, it don't matter if it's a fishing club per se, just somewhere that your boat's in a compound so it can't get nicked and a slipway that you can put it in the water. Wind's dropped. I could go out tonight if I want to fish for bass. The only good thing about fishing where I fish, alright, it's all bass, but it's some nice sized bass. That's all there is. Elmore has one, Leon Solent. Where the hell is Elmore? I know where Leon Solent is, ish. The website has all the details. Yeah, I want somewhere I can leave the boat over there and I ain't going to get robbed. And is there any not now, Jamie, an old-fashioned sailing club, very cheap. I don't drink Shark Smith. How much is their cups of tea? Sue would like it, she drinks copious amounts of hobgoblin and snaky fucking fish eel and whatever the ale is. It's just finding somewhere as a base that you go out in the water and there's actually fish out there, like sole, plaice, ultimately unicorns. I've never caught a cod. Been fishing 56 years and never caught a cod. Not even in a trawl. How's that ever happened? I mean, I like... What do I eat? Cod, plaice, pollock. I like pollock. Whiting, big whiting. Used to make fish cakes out of them when I was a kid. But like I say, I fish for stuff that I can actually have a dinner. Right by Brown Down, Bill. Will launches his sieve from that slipway. Brown Down. I'll have to look on maps. I don't know. I'm Grant in Portsmouth. Fished the Solent my whole life, but always the eastern end. And Gospel is a complete anomaly to me. Southampton, forget it. I drove into Southampton once and I think it took me about an hour to get out again. I got completely lost. See, Brown Down where, because I remember the last time Will went out, he pulled his sib up and there was a bit of wash come along, hit him up the arse. But with my boat, I've got... Oh yeah, no, that's not... No, I'm not looking for a marina per se. I'm just looking for somewhere where I can leave the boat, ideally leave the boat sometimes on a pontoon, so that I don't have to come home from 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours fishing and then have to put the boat back on the trailer again and drag it all the way back to Waterlooville. I think on needs to draft 18 inches of water maybe to get her on the trailer. Maybe 2 foot. I've extended the trailer because when I first got the trailer, I backed it in with Sue. I backed it in at Northerney and I couldn't hear what she was saying. And then when I got out, she said the arse end of the car is in the water, which it was. Luckily, the trailer lights and all that, well, I sprayed them with WD-40, but like, I'd backed the car pretty much in the Ogden just to get it off, because the trailer was a snipe trailer, but it didn't have a long enough front, so I've put 50mm box on the front of it and extended it. And I bought one of them trailer extension bar things, which was a complete nightmare because it swivels on the ball hitch on the trailer and swivels on the ball hitch on the back of the motor. It's all right dragging them out of the water, but trying to reverse it down, it's like an articulated twice unit. You're going straight, the tow bar's going straight, the boat's turned left. But yeah, Sharksmith, if you can give me a ring later on, I'd appreciate that, sir. And maybe I can get something sorted out and get me boat over there. Right, I'm going to get on and make some rigs up. So I'll catch you guys later. Hopefully I'll get out. If the weather stays not too windy. I'd like to go out Church Rocks or Chichester Bar, but I don't think it's big tides at the moment. And it's a bit of a pig getting out. Thanks, Jay, I really appreciate it. And you, sir, be safe. I'll catch you guys later. Hopefully it'll be like on the way to or when we're out on the water. So I'm going to knock it on the head now. Love to you all. Thanks for popping on. Goodbye, God bless. Thanks, Stuart. We'll get there in the end. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Sharksmith. Hopefully we'll be getting some fish on board and we can have a laugh out there. God bless.